Hello, I'm Dr. Gormall. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that have already subscribed, you know why I'm here. For those that haven't, I have been doing a very detailed review of a product. Various quite profound claims with a profound price tag attached to it. It's £2,000, British pounds. This is the Lyma Laser. This is a £2,000 laser that is being advertised on the market as something that is able to rejuvenate your skin, help with acne scars, rosacea, decrease the appearance of fine lines, other claims as well, sun damage, hyperpigmentation, various things. I've been using this for 2 months now, and I've been doing a detailed review of this product simply because of the price. I'm a firm believer in spending your money wisely, and if this does what it claims that it will do, then I will let you know, and then you can think about getting one. And by the way, my reviews are not sponsored. I have had very helpful contact from Lima Life, the company, and they've been really helpful in giving me the research behind this product and the claims of what it can do. Today I'll be going through the research studies, and I'll also be giving you the 2-month update. And I haven't worn any makeup today, so you have the pleasure of seeing my skin without a filter. No filters. I don't do filters. You might hear random noises because I think somebody's like cutting the grass or cutting the trees down. So apologies in advance for any interruption or random caw-caw. There's a quite loud bird that squawks. Quite loud, yeah. Anyway, the research and the science behind how this works. It took me a good few hours, with hours of reading, hours, but I've been through the various articles now, and I'm going to break them down for you. 3 papers have a conflict of interest. 3 papers are written by a chap called Dr. Glass, who is actually a consultant for Lyma Life. I know it sounds like an evil supervillain name. Have you seen the movie Glass and Unbreakable? It's so good. Sorry, Dr. Glass, I know you're not evil. If anything, very unbiased. 3 of the articles that he has done, the journals, declaration of competing interest. He is a consultant for Lyma Life, so it is stated in all the articles. So we'll do his separately, and although he has got that conflict of interest, I feel like he's given a balanced opinion. So respect to you, Dr. Glass. So first of all, we're looking at the difference between a laser and LEDs, because our good old friend here, light source, is from lasers and LEDs. So right in the middle, you can possibly see a slightly red dot. This is the infrared near invisible laser, and then surrounding it you've got 4 blue LEDs. The main difference between lasers versus LEDs: lasers can produce a pinpoint of light, a very small range of light, and also in terms of the wavelength of what particular light it produces is very narrow. It's generally more precise. Just think of it being pinpoint, precise. Lasers, in terms of the spectrum of light, you could be very selective in terms of a minute range of what type of light you would want from a laser. An LED, however, the light emitted from an LED is broader and more widespread, and also the range of light is broader and less specific. Lasers, expensive. LEDs, cheaper. Laser, clinical setting. LEDs, home use. In terms of phototherapy and low-level light therapy, the positive effects that we are trying to gain from each of them, studies have shown that although LED light may not penetrate deep tissue, So when low level light therapy or phototherapy is used for helping inflammation in joints, a laser would be more effective than an LED. As a laser, the light will travel further. So lasers, the light is pinpoint, you're able to localize it more, you're able to choose a smaller band of what particular light you are trying to emit at what energy and what level, and it can go further. So if we're using a laser on our skin, it can go deeper into the tissue. An LED, however, the light is more spread, the range of light on the light spectrum is broader, and it only penetrates the tissues at a superficial level and does not go into the deep tissue. For the purpose of this laser, you can see how that is highly relevant.
The Lyma Laser has both 4 external blue LEDs and a central infrared laser.
However, we know that it will penetrate the superficial layers of our skin, and that's all I want you to do. I don't need you to change my soul, just my skin. So that's really good to know. That's fantastic, relevant, important information. And that was the conclusion of one of the journals, which is fantastic. Moving on to the next one. Three of the journals generally go into how phototherapy works. In terms of the sources of information, they're all credible and have all been written by professors or doctors. One of the journals that I mentioned in my last video, journaling quantum electronics. So they just start off by talking about this chap, a doctor in Hungary in 1960. He basically implanted tumours into mice and used a laser to see if he could treat the tumours. So he shaved the mice, opened them up, popped the tumours in, closed them up again, and then used this laser. What he noted was that the group of mice that had the laser used on them, their hair growth on that patch of shaved skin was rapid and accelerated, versus the group that had the tumours implanted and didn't have the laser used. And that was the beginning of recognising, oh, maybe we could use light and lasers for some other use, because it did something in the skin to trigger off excess hair growth. Now, I completely understand, we're not using this laser to increase hair growth on our face. If anybody has noticed that, can you please comment, because I would be very concerned, because I don't want to increase hair growth on my face, thanks. Although I do have another laser to counteract that, the Philips Lumia. But anyway, that's so not the goal and the point of this. If anybody's noticed excess hair growth, from using this laser, can you please comment and let me know? Because then I really need to reconsider using this. So that was the start of the journey of low-level light therapy and photobiomodulation. That these journals compare lots of different research and studies into lasers, LEDs, predominantly lasers, and various variable factors that affect the light that comes out from an LED or laser, the power of it, the wavelength, the intensity, the coherence. There's so many variables, but we're trying to compare them all against each other. So there's a bit of a difficulty in that. How it works. The particular wavelength of light, which is low level light therapy, meaning that it doesn't produce a heat response and it's at a particular wavelength of light, because light is emitted in varying wavelengths. I'll put up a graph for you to see. Or the near infrared spectrum of light is absorbed by particular parts of the cell that are related to energy production. It works on something called cytochrome C oxidase, is the molecule within mitochondria that absorb the light. Once that light is absorbed. It starts off a chain reaction. So we might use the light now, we can create those changes, but when we stop using it, there's going to be changes that are still happening in your skin as a result of using the light. That causes an increase in something called ATP. ATP is the energy molecule that is used within our body. And when you eat food, eventually it leads to all these chain reactions, and at the end of it you get ATP. And ATP is what is used by our body and our various cells for various functions. Now, if we're increasing the ATP in our skin, it leads to increase in energy, and that is what leads to the rejuvenation aspect. There's also been comments about it potentially upregulating certain genes to decrease oxidative stress, and the genes would be involved in repair and prevention of damage. So in conclusion, low-level light therapy does create changes on a molecular, cellular and potentially genetic level. There's sort of like a sweet spot in terms of the intensity or the wave of light that you use. If you don't use enough, it's not going to do anything. If what you're using is too powerful and intense, it could actually cause damage. I know, it's slightly worrying. And I don't think my face is damaged after 2 months of using this. Please tell me if your face is damaged from using this. And also if you grew any hair on your face because of this. Yeah. Ooh. But in conclusion, more studies have to be performed in order to fill the gaps that still linger in the basic mechanisms underlying low-level light therapy and photobiomodulation. So the conclusion in most of these is that more research needs to be done. It's not conclusive. Although the evidence or the research done so far is very promising that it will do something, but it's not concrete, not black and white. It's the journal by those two sick dudes from the Journal of Selected Topics in Quantum Electronics. Then we've got a journal that's generally sort of done from a dermatology perspective. Dermatology is a doctor that specialises in the skin. So if you've got severe eczema, if you've got rosacea, various skin conditions, you'll be seeing a dermatologist for that. And this has been looking at how low-level light therapy can potentially be used as treatment in sort of the clinical setting for dermatology. Which did it conclude? There's a credibility gap that needs to be overcome before low-level light therapy is routinely applied in every dermatologist's office. So yeah, in conclusion, the studies are all generally saying, oh yeah, we can see that it works in this area. Yeah, there was a little bit of benefit there, a little bit of benefit there. But it just doesn't seem to be that the conclusion is that, yeah, this is definitely effective. So it's all like, yep, there's promising results. We tried to replicate them, didn't replicate them, yeah. So it's all, yeah, that's that. I'm reading these articles. Yes, there is definitely a theoretical basis and there is some evidence behind it working. It's, yeah, that I can see. But again, is the evidence strong? So again, oh, helicopter. Oh, that was really close. You know, there's been a lot of police around my house and now there's a helicopter. I don't know what's happening. Slightly concerning. Anyway, anywho, the 2-month update of how it's going. I am going to be showing you the pictures of my skin before I started using the laser and 2 months after. When I used to look at my face before I started using the Lyma Laser, I was having a discussion in my head with myself of, are we going to do it? Are we going to go get the Botox, go think about the fillers and go down that road? Because I felt like something needed to change with my skin. Something was wrong. It was dull and I felt like I looked old and tired. But might be looking at me right now thinking like, girl, you need to put some makeup on. whatever. But I now look at my skin without makeup on quite confidently, and I don't need to think about Botox and fillers, and that's 2 months in. So for me, and my purpose of getting it was to avoid or delaying the invasive age reversing or the skin rejuvenation techniques, and that's been achieved for me. I'm happy with how my skin looks. In terms of the hyperpigmentation marks, they continue to lighten, they haven't disappeared. I actually question if they will, but for me, in terms of my general condition on my skin and the brightness, the uniform appearance, I have had less spots as well. That's another thing that I've noticed, because I do get my monthly, I do get monthly acne related to my cycle. That's calmed down as well. So for me, my goal's been achieved. I will still update you on once I've used it for 3 months. My neighbours have just walked past, they're probably thinking, what are you doing? Why have you got a ring light? What are you doing? It's so embarrassing. I'm gonna have to explain that to them later. They're just walking their little dogs. Okay, anyway, so yeah, what was I saying? And I'm also going to show you a picture. Sorry, this picture is so self-involved. Excuse the selfie-ness, but this is what I look like with makeup and no filter. And I was quite happy with the result. I just feel like my skin's looking clean. I'm super happy with it. And I really hope that you guys are noticing the changes as well. If there's anything that I haven't been clear with, please comment below and I will go into it in more detail. In terms of the evidence, in summary, looking at lasers versus LEDs, I can see that LEDs have a benefit to superficial treatment. In terms of the evidence of does it cause a change on a cellular level? Yes, it does. That sets off a chain reaction of increased energy, changing your genes, decreasing inflammation, and it is used to promote wound healing, and that's the same effects that help, the same changes that happen to help a wound heal, it helps regenerate your skin. In terms of slightly more worrying factors is hair growth and fat loss, because I don't want to have hair growth on my face, and I don't want fat loss from my face either. I think it could make you look really sunken and quite gaunt. Don't want that. Okay, I'll keep you guys posted on my 3-month update. Please let me know if you've got any questions, anything specific.